That's a beautiful thing, even in that each one of you has a very specific style and different medium maybe that you use and different methods that you employ, but yet you're all rowing in the same direction, trying to achieve the same thing. And that's it's almost like a mosaic, where
Yeah.
you have these different parts and it all comes together to make something beautiful. I'd love to move on. Bonnie, why don't you tell us a little bit about your work and some of the things that are themes for you, and what it is that you're hoping to achieve through your work?
Wow. Okay. I'll try to
Well,
fulfill all those wishes. Well, some of my methods are unorthodox, I guess. I feel really selfish because it's a self exploration for me. And I start with layering, which represents represents the layers of myself, and I hope people can relate to that. I start My process is starting with fun. I have to start with fun and splashing and scraping and all that kind of stuff because that puts energy into the painting. And then the next phase is I just start refining from there, using acrylics and pencils and charcoal and smearing and all that kind of stuff. And then from there, working with oil and cold wax on top of that just puts another layer on that. Did that answer one question? I don't know.
Yeah,
Is that okay? All right. It's exploration of self, and it's just like peeling back an onion. You just, go through the layers.
Well, I love that you're expressing that in the layer format, because it's true. Each one of us has several layers, and we may even have different roles and responsibilities in our lives and different like seasons of our life. We're so complex as people.
Yes.
And for you to be able to interpret that, and for your work, think about yourself and go, okay, there's layers to who I am. There's layers to my experiences and my passions and the things I want to express. And then take that to the canvas and say, okay, physically, this is going to be a representation of that, even in your process that you've just described, in this looseness, this splattering, and then this refining, and then adding different elements and different mediums in there. It's this process and evolution that's happening as you're talking about your work.
Yes, and a lot of my paintings have to do. Sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
With the aging process in our bodies and of the earth. So that's where the layering comes in.
Yeah.
So while you say that there's self-exploration, but they're also the what you're talking about is very universal. And I think that's what makes your paintings so powerful.
All humans go through it.
Right.
So yeah. So
what is it
people relate to that?
Right. And I was going to ask, what is it that you hope that as people look at your work, what is it that you hope it speaks to inside of them?
A good question that I don't know. I feel that we're not only creating paintings, but they create us. Our art creates us. This is an answer that I struggle with because I can't speak for other people. I have an easier time painting than I do discussing my process and all this, but
sure. But the funny thing is, I heard somebody say once, what's obvious to you is magic to other people. And so often as creative people, we go to things that we understand, that we've learned to adapt into our process, and it becomes kind of second nature to us. And we don't necessarily think it's a big deal. But for somebody else, that could actually be the thing that, if they're a fellow creative person, a fellow artist, they may be mystified by what it is that you do and how you do it. And you could be holding the keys to unlock something for their journey. And then other people who are not artists look at a lot of things that we create, and their heads spin because they're like, I don't even know how you think of that. I don't know how you see that. I don't know how you express that.
But I love it.
Thank you that you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well said.